Hi, so it is my assertion that many people today would like to be protected from the truth. Sir Al Gore wrote quite an interesting fantasy work called what? An Inconvenient Truth. Okay, now, I haven't read the book and I don't really want to because to me it's probably filled with a lot of propaganda. I'm sorry. Would you like to read Transformed by Truth by Joseph Tkach Jr.? T-K-I-C-H. I think that's how you spell it. I mean, you don't know. I would join a cult that has no profile because it wasn't Mormon and little kids weren't being, sexually molested or anything. It was a cult. It was the Worldwide Church of God. And it was a very oppressive cult in that it was extremely legalistic. They told Christians they basically had to live like Jews. And when they told me I couldn't wear makeup, that was awful. But then there was this glasnost or something, or this détente where all of a sudden you can wear makeup. Well, that's great. I've humiliated myself in front of the entire high school student body because now they can see my zits and everything awful about me, and they won't forget it. How are you gonna make reparations for that, huh, Tkach? I ask you. So they said, oh, you don't have to tithe either. And I don't think you have to tithe. Maybe you should give more than the tithe. That's the safest thing to say. You should give beyond the tithe. The tithe is nothing. The tithe is saying bless you when somebody sneezes. That doesn't make you a Christian. Okay, protected from the truth. Give me a moment, please. From the time I was, say, 12 or 13 years old, I became aware of crime, and I couldn't stand to hear about it anymore. All the violence and crime, children being molested, women being raped. It was terrible stuff. I never wanted to read horror novels. I had friends, well, one friend in particular, who read Stephen King novels, and her friend as well. She was sort of my friend by extension. They thought I was a goofball, but listen, I would rather read soft porn romance novels than read horror and murder stuff, because that disturbs me. That's the kind of stuff that keeps me awake at night, or I wake up in the morning and I think about some crime that I heard about, and I wake up every morning and I think about it. And what about the Holocaust? You don't think it's real? You don't think the earth is round? You think the Holocaust didn't happen? They faked all these skinny corpses piled up at Auschwitz? They faked that? I mean, are people really so dumb that they reject the truth? I guess you can only be protected from the truth for so long. Just a moment, please. So, a few months ago I purchased a children's illustrated Bible. It's been a real blessing to me because it's walking me and my youngest children through the Old Testament story by story. There's nothing that a little child couldn't understand without a little bit of background explanation. The person does a good job because it's not written at kindergarten level. It's written maybe 4th grade level for the average kid. And that fits me just fine. That suits me perfectly. So we get to the part where King, I cannot pronounce this correctly, I'm sorry, I have never been tutored in Hebrew, Jehoiakim starts burning up the scroll that Jeremiah had written out. His friend said, you got to write out everything God told you over the past 20 years. All right, but King, he's such a jerk, Jehoiakim or whoever. He just burned each part of the scroll that was read. Well, let's burn that. I don't like it. Let's burn it. Let's burn it. Let's burn it. Let's burn it. So are we burning Bibles today? I'm just asking. Thank you. Good boy.